Welcome to Cannesversations. I'm your host, Stephanie Beach, and today we are live in Miami from the Possible Conference. I am on this beautiful balcony of the Unplugged Pavilion with Rachelle Minnis from Kantar. Welcome.
Thanks for having me today.
I'm so excited to be here with you. How's the conference going?
Conference is going well. It's Monday. It kicked off early this morning, I think, with a 5K run, which I did not participate in, but kicked off for us at about 9 a.m. with great conversations with brands and platforms and partners. The energy is really high. It's busy. It's a lot busier than last year. I heard up 25% possibly, but it's been a great morning so far.
Yeah, I think it might be more than that, to be honest.
Yes, it feels very
busy. The
busy.
amount of people that are here are so, but the energy is so amazing.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't even really gotten to leave the pavilion yet today. I'm hoping to do that tomorrow, but I heard that the activations and everything are just unbelievable.
It is. It's been great.
Awesome. You ready to dive in?
Yeah.
So what percentage of online traffic would you say is not human?
I think it's increasing every day. It's hard to give an exact percentage, but I think every single day and every single week, the percentage of traffic is not human. It's a hard thing to measure. And I think especially in the last few months, it's been on an upward tick. We've got agents, we have LLMs, we have brands worried about how they're showing up in LLMs and how agents are in the mix with not just buying, but that brand experience.
Yeah.
And it really has changed rapidly. I think that's the interesting pace of what's happening in our industry right now. Is a year ago, we wouldn't be having this conversation. A year ago, it'd be like, I wonder if, and now it's, I wonder how fast, and I wonder how much.
The speed is crazy.
The speed is crazy.
It's so crazy. So let's dive in. What's at risk if a brand keeps optimizing on bad outputs?
I think if a brand is optimizing on bad outputs, they're really putting their equity at stake, what consumers think, feel, believe, and know about your brand. If you're optimizing on bad outputs and, showing up in a way that you don't want to, or against an audience that isn't going to be receptive to your messaging, or you're optimizing on, someone says this content is good and it's not great, right? And you're having that agent to agent do that optimization for you. Or you're just simply not measuring every single thing that you could. I think it results in, potential equity and then even missed opportunities to connect with your consumers, right, in the right way.
And coming off as being genuine, building trust, connection, community. I hate to say it, authenticity.
Authenticity is huge. Everyone, engagement is huge. Authenticity is huge. And you start to think about that in the online community. And, creators, of course, are a big conversation right now. And showing up authentically and how do you do that, right? How do you have the right partners? How do you connect with consumers on platforms where they're engaged? And how do you put out those trustworthy messages?
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. And I feel like so many people should constantly be saying that to themselves to be able to, sometimes you get so caught down the rabbit hole of whatever it is you're building or creating that you almost lose sight of something so simple.
Yes.
What's getting harder about maintaining trust in the ecosystem?
Oh, man. I think, and I have a lot of conversations with our ecosystem partners and platforms. I have a lot of conversations with agencies and a lot of conversations with brands direct. And I think the thing that's getting tough about maintaining trust in that ecosystem is the age-old grading your own homework is, tough. Everyone has different angles and different ways that they're strong, right? And different ways that they can reach consumers, different ways that they can help brands. And it's really playing into that strength instead of attempting to do everything for everyone.
Yes.
And I think that trust erodes, right, when it's positioned as it can do absolutely everything. And the wonderful part about measurement and all of these ecosystems is everyone has a unique value prop in the market. And I think trust can be eroded when people aren't leaning into what makes them special, what makes them unique, what drives value and what value they can particularly bring to the market. And when you talk about the other side, of the creative content, I think what erodes trust is that authenticity, right? It's not showing up in an authentic way. I was talking about creators earlier. When you have a mismatch, right? Or you have a mismatch of just your average creative content going out into the marketplace and it's not a fit for the platform that you're on, right? It doesn't engage consumers in the right way. I think that can erode trust.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it just doesn't make sense and it's confusing.
Exactly, right? Like, why is this showing up in this moment for me? And there's a lot of great ways where you can build that trust. And I think if you're kind of misfiring with how you're trying to talk to consumers, it can feel very inauthentic.
Yeah.
And not trustworthy.
Yeah, it's great points for sure. How do you actually know if traffic on your platform or a platform that you're utilizing is real?
Oh, that's a good question. I think there's all kinds of privacy things that are in place, of course. I would look at engagement, right? It's how long are they spending on the site? What are they actually doing? Are these patterns that make sense? If you have a bot on a site and they're just kind of bopping around and combing for information, it's the speed. They're going to be bouncing around really quickly. Are they patterns that make sense? Are they doing things? Did they come from somewhere? Right. The great thing about all these platforms is you have a lot of information on who's actually coming and showing up. Are they behaving normally? Right. Are they behaving like normal consumers? And are they really interacting and engaging with your site in a way, I would keep saying, that makes sense? But really, it kind of goes back to that simple thing that you mentioned. You're like, this is basic, right? Do these things make sense? Do the patterns make sense?
Yeah. And you keep going back to it because that's what matters. Right. Like,
basics.
Does this make sense for me? Is it fitting within who I am, what I'm trying to convey, and giving the message to who I'm trying to give it to?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
What strategies have you implemented to monetize AI agent attention while they're shopping on a platform?
Oh, that's a good question. So being on the measurement side of helping brands like optimize, the first thing that comes to mind is retail media networks, right? I was at CES earlier in the year and they showed a demo, which was absolutely crazy, of how you can go in and put a recipe in and the agent will look at a recipe and say, oh, that's great. That's what you want to make for dinner. Let me buy all that for you and I'll order it and have it delivered to your house. How wild is it that we're in a world?
I need that.
And
they cook it too?
Secretly thinking that myself. I'm like, this is amazing. I can just say, these are my recipes and it goes on. And the big question was, well, who decides what brand at the grocery store you're going to pick, right?
Oh, true.
And that's it, right? How do you...
The agent will learn that, though.
The agent will learn, right? But that's also so fascinating, is how do you show up and how do you use AI and take all of the information that we know about consumers and buying patterns and how people behave online and get that to inform agents to make smarter decisions, like what brand of salsa you want for your tacos, right? And how do you use the vast amount of consumer data and all of the insights that are available? I'm lucky to work for a company that is sitting on lots and lots of data and lots of insights. And how can brands take all of that and train the agents to make personalized decisions?
I think that's where we're going to start seeing more
hyper personalization.
Yes, because those are the questions now people are asking, especially on the brand side, when it matters.
And if you have that data at scale, right, and you have all this information about your customers and consumers, and all of this is readily available, what you should be using AI for is to make smarter, faster decisions, right? It's to not recreate, all of these things, but how do you aggregate information at pace to make really good decisions for your consumers? And I think it's that.
Yeah, I agree. And I definitely see an opportunity for an advertising, like from brands, be like, all right, well, recommend my brand. Like, I'll pay to be the preferred brand.
Yes.
I also wonder what that's going to do to everybody's grocery bill, but that's a whole nother conversation.
Exactly.
So what do buyers misunderstand about the traffic they're paying for?
Oh, what do buyers misunderstand? I think probably with the amount of data available, are you talking to household or person level, right? Are you talking to someone very specific? Can you connect that back to everything else that they're doing?
Yeah.
So if you have someone on their phone or their laptop, can you connect that back to their TV viewing habits or what they have on other connected devices? And so I think they're probably misunderstanding the entire journey.
Yeah.
Like the complete comprehensive journey, and last click gets a lot of attention, right? Like the last
Always.
last click, right? Last point of attribution gets a lot of attention, but there's so many brand building moments that happen right before you click buy or subscribe or take that action, that brands aren't fully getting, that actually drive value, that are maybe tougher to measure, but are very meaningful in that cycle for your brand.
Yeah, that you made some really excellent points on other things to consider outside of that and really kind of honing in on it. You ready for some rapid fire?
Yeah, let's do it.
Overrated or underrated AI in marketing?
Underrated.
Safe bet or risky bet? AI agents making purchases.
Oh, right now risky, but I think it's going to get safe.
One thing that matters more than people think.
I think the human behind the AI making decisions. AI is a fantastic tool. You still need a human driving the decision making and where to point that AI to make the best use out of it.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much. This was so fun.
Thanks for having me in this lovely penthouse. I finally get a view of the beach and everything going on down there.
Oh, yes. Definitely take some pictures, and we could dream about it because we're not going to be down there right now.
No.
But thank you guys so much for tuning in. This is Stephanie Beach with Cannesversations. Till next time. Bye.